Welcome back to Project Brupeg. This week we have a challenge. It's a bit of a rubbish challenge if I'm honest. Some might think of it as a waste. It's not really any of those things, but it is if you know what I mean. It's Coconut Beach. We need you to understand why this is such an important beach.
We'll see how we can actually get in here in the dinghy.
Looks like we have about 2 metres of water all the way in, roughly.
Good news.
Brupeg was a sunken fishing trawler that was stripped out and ready for the scrapyard. She's just completed a 10-year rebuild that's brought her back to life. With the help of volunteers and funded by our Patreons, community and subscribers, she'll be crewed by passionate people from around the world. If you'd like to be involved and support the project, please consider joining us on Patreon or subscribe to the channel. There's a link in the description below.
Yeah, the waves are a bit lumpy, probably half a metre chop, which makes it a bit awkward, but it's still plenty of depth. We can get this boat in and out, no worries, I think.
Brilliant.
Coconut Beach is remote. At the top end of Aussie, there's an island called Lizard Island. Because Coconut Beach is at the southeast facing side of that island, it collects all of the marine debris. It's surrounded by cliffs and it has a massive fringing reef which makes it near on impossible to get in by boat.
So it's not a very windy or rough day. The swell is sort of coming into this corner. It's high tide. We think we got maybe 2 metres or so roughly. We're just about to get the depth sounded down. 2 metres, great. So we've got enough water to get in. If it stays like this all the way in, we're absolutely sweet. It's a bit uncomfortable, but we can definitely manage this.
Still at the very beginning of it.
Yeah. Hopefully when we get further in, these waves will die off a bit when they lose a bit of their energy on the bottom. But we're basically driving right over top of the reef. You might be able to see it through the lens there.
Does look like there's like sandy, shallower stuff coming.
Yeah.
The waves are dying down a little bit.
Yeah.
It looks like there's like a trash bag.
Yeah.
It's already like collected stuff, maybe.
This spawn is probably going to be the worst too.
Yep. How deep are we?
Seems quite consistent, eh?
I think we managed to get all the way through the reef. We're now on the beach side of the reef and it looks like pretty clear sand.
Great news.
Yeah.
But look how much stuff there's still on the line, like on the tree line. And like bigger stuff. There's definitely heaps of stuff.
Alright, let's get the boat anchored before the waves come up anymore.
Yep, sounds good.
We have a very unique opportunity in that we have a very good weather window right now to access this beach, and we have dinghies that are very small. Normally that's a hassle, but being Brupeg, we're going to turn it into an advantage. While Jess held Brupeg offshore a little bit, and the three of us returned back to Brupeg, we hoisted Colander up onto her davits, which meant we then had to proceed into what was going to be one of our more challenging anchorages for the trip. You'll see more on this anchorage in an upcoming episode. Suffice to say, it's pretty incredible. Anchoring where we did allowed us to go back that afternoon and pick up the first load of debris from this beach. This was a bag that was already sitting on the beach ready to go. Part of the thinking with going back over in the afternoon was we didn't have to think about Brupeg, but it allowed us to come up with a game plan for the following day. It's the crackle of dawn. The sun is just starting to come up. And we're up really super early so that we can get onto the beach right as the sun hits the horizon. So we've got about 2.5 hours before it gets stinking hot. Sun has just come up, but actually that's not true. The sun hasn't quite come up. It's first light, but the sun's still not above the horizon. So the plan is to get over to Coconut now, so we'll be there in maybe 20 minutes. The sea is flat as, you can see that, which is perfect for landing on that beach, but the tide is relatively low right now, so we need the sea to be dead flat to be able to do it. So now's our chance. Very low temperature, low seas. Let's get into it.
Look how clear it is. That's deep under there, the darkness. This is only possible because we were able to get this dinghy. We really couldn't afford it, but we managed to find a way. We would have done this with Mishka, or at least given it a go, but you can see the waves are iffy when you're in a low boat, and then trying to cart rubbish in a small boat, of course, is impossible. But you know, we would have tried. So here's the beach this morning in the sunlight, first rays of the sun. Wow, it's just so beautiful.
Rocks look amazing. It's light.
Amazing. So gorgeous. You can see the boat's filling up again. This is the sticker. Trying to get this project done with the bottom sticker because we just don't have time to weld it properly. But we'll take some time soon and do that. It's not a bad way to spend a morning. Who gets to do this for their life, career or time? It's incredible. It's remarkable how clean the beach looks from here. Once you get closer, you can see the rubbish. Nice work.
It's super soft, which is really nice if you're coming to a tropical beach to relax. But if you're trying to actually haul around weight, it does make it challenging. We've landed about halfway down the beach and we're going from the middle out to the right hand side of the beach, and as we get towards the corner, both the right and the left corner, this is where the bulk of the waste sort of accumulates. The wind blows it into the corner, but the middle is still pretty heavily soiled. However, we need to not touch the left hand corner right now for something that's happening in a few hours time. From back here it does seem like there's not a lot of plastic. You see the odd bit, but you don't really see it. But up in this bush line, it's absolutely caked. Look, here's a section that we haven't touched. You guys haven't got to yet. Bottle caps, jandals, thongs if you're Australian, just shoes, just so much stuff. Lighters, bits of rubber, pens, you name it. It's all here. Like, you can pretty much find the spectrum of human waste stuffed up into these bushes.
I get a little bit breathless, my thoughts are too big. Can I get some comfort, please? I guess I should have been honest. It breaks in my heart, it's weighing me down, baby. I'm like a river that's overflowed. The sooner you know it, the less do we hurt. Let me speak the truth.
Brupeg knife. Made for us. One of our lovely followers. So we're doing a transect here on this beach, the Tangaroa Blue. Berg's coming across with the drone. But first we've got to get this load to Brupeg, so I'm taking it around. It takes a while to pack the boat up. 20 minutes around that head over there. Got to go a little bit slow because it's quite dangerous. Unloading and then back.
And to put it in context, it's a 50-minute round trip from Brupeg to the beach in the dinghy.
We're about halfway from here down. So there's a ways to go yet, and that's a messy corner. Hey everyone, we're doing this beach cleanup. We didn't think it was this bad. We're cleaning up, but we need your help. We've got assignments up the coast in the reef here to help with some data collection to better manage rubbish cleanup here in the reef. But we need diesel, we need food, and we need time, and we're running out of resources. We're a little channel, we don't push it, we're not a hard sell, and our followers are so amazing. They punch above their weight in supporting us, but we're strapped now. We're really struggling to keep this cleanup going. We could use your help. We need money for fuel and money for food, and we'll do the rest. So if you can contribute even $5, it would make a huge difference to this. We could get this beach cleaned up.
And it sucks cleaning up a beach like this and having to walk away from stuff that's buried in the sand like this. Like, Jess has uncovered this big rope and we have to just leave it. We can't do anything about these. We don't have the time or the resources to be able to spend on it, and that's what we want to flip on its head. We want to go back to this beach and dig this debris out of the sand.
And what's amazing about Brupeg is we're a gutsy team, and we'll push it and we'll get into beaches that other people just can't get to, and that's what we're doing here today. This beach is considered a really hard access beach. You can see on the the other side, tramping in, is actually abseiling down a rock. Getting rubbish out is nearly impossible. Boats just can't come in easily here, and commercial boats, it's just not worth it for them. So we're kind of it. So if you could help us out, we would love that. We'd feel so grateful. And let's just keep trying to clean this reef and keep it safe, keep the animals safe. Thank you so much. We'll keep you updated as we go along. We're part of a worldwide team of people in all shapes and sizes trying to make a difference here, and your money does make a huge difference. Right, that's my ride.
This is an incredible location, boxed in by big sort of cliffs. They're not unscalable, but they're pretty high. Like, I don't know, that one's probably 60 feet high, 70 feet high maybe, and it's on a maybe 45-degree angle. And then you've got this big sort of flat area behind with mountains and stuff behind, no real easy walking tracks. That whole thing there is fairly impenetrable for people that don't want to abseil. The cliffs are at about a 45-degree angle, and they're mostly rock, sort of either rock face or like loose rock. But the location itself is just stunning. Look at this, incredible. So the sun's up, it's, I don't know, 7 o'clock in the morning, something like that. It's just beautiful, not hot, it's like really comfortable temperatures, perfect weather. Man, this is tropical Queensland. And just so that we don't pretend we're living in a magical paradise, this is also tropical Queensland. We're starting to come towards the end of the beach, which is where most of the debris collects. It sort of gets washed at each end, and you can see it gets washed fairly far up. So let's go for a bit of a walk in the dunes. You got old oil, 2-stroke oil containers, you got a bread bin thing, looks like a detergent bottle or something down there, lots of drinking bottles, something, glove or something like that, plenty of clear plastics, more outboard oil, deodorant, but just heaps, eh? And if you don't look closely, you'd think that this is not that bad, this beach. Like, you can see some big random stuff sticking out, but most of that just looks like driftwood. But when you get right up and into it, there's a fair chunk of it that's just full on plastic. And just to preempt some comments of 1 or 2 people that might piss and moan saying, well, we can't just stop using plastics. 100% agree with you, we can't just stop using plastics. They're incredibly valuable and they've got us to where we are. But we can stop being dicks about where we throw them. That's pretty simple.
It's just like so pretty behind you.
And I'm just throwing plastic out.
On the beach with the stars as our lighters, and throw our problems in the flame. Throw our problems in the flame.
In case you're wondering, sometimes we leave white things on the beach. It's not plastic, this is cuttlefish. This is actually out of a fish called the cuttlefish. Awesome little monster, can change colours and hide, and incredible camouflage. And they use this for budgies to scrape their beak on. If you've ever seen one in like a pet shop, that's where it comes from. Tropical cuttlefish. The next comment that we need to anticipate is people saying there's no point in us cleaning up these beaches unless third world countries stop dumping rubbish into the sea. And whilst third world countries absolutely need support because they don't have the funds to have landfills and like decent rubbish collection and whatever else is stopping that from happening, we absolutely should be supporting that. However, most of this rubbish is coming from Australia. So let's not pretend that we're all shiny and clean here. We need to do our part no matter what. I found a marine radio. It's got Burke's name all over it. I think it's like one of those trial radios you get when you're starting to get your VHF license. He has his VHF license, but you know, there's no harm in practicing. He'd do exactly the same to me if he found that.
Caught behind Venetian blinds, had to reach for the city lines. This ain't where I belong. Hey, look at me, man, what I've become. I've been running east, looking for a sunset, digging deep since 99.
So while Lena and I clean this beach up, We're waiting for Burke to turn up around that headland behind me there. He's bringing the drone, more supplies, batteries, sacks, that sort of thing. He's the second shift, so he's going to fly the transect with the drone while we tidy up basically the rest of the beach. We've done half of this beach. Alina and Jess pulled one big white sack, so that's a 1,000 litre sack. So don't know what that is in weight, but volume wise it's about 1,000 litres of plastic. Off the beach yesterday, she just took one back to the boat today, so there's 2,000 litres of volume. We've easily just picked up enough just in these sacks here to do a third sack, so there's 3,000 litres of volume. And again, this is half of the beach, so pretty heavily soiled beach. But look at this, turner tracker. So these wash up all over the show, and we can see if they work using a magnet. But basically we drag these back and they can be used for scientific research, because they do water temperature, water salinity, biomass underneath them. They ping GPS coordinates, so they're really handy for super easy access, cheap research buoys.
What I thought was gone was sitting in my pocket in plain sight all along. I think it's time for me to go burn all bridges. All I know, I got lost.
We've had the fishing department. We think this might be an incredibly primitive fad or something, some sort of like towing thing. It's got like a A-frame towing blue rope, and it's got these other ropes that sort of trail off it, just on a bit of bamboo. No idea what that is. And then over here there's a pretty hefty mooring rope. We're all pretty shattered after the morning's work, so we thought we'd take a moment and just chill in the shade on a tropical beach. Well, all of us except Jess. She found a large piece of rope buried in the sand and thought, I'm definitely going to have a go at this. But it was proper good buried. So with this bamboo thing, we're going to try and basically cut anything that we can get off it, so we can leave the bamboo here and then cut all the rope, because way more space efficient. Space is our biggest challenge on anything that we do, because we've only got so much room on Brupeg, and we need to basically make sure that we can use it wisely. So getting rid of this bamboo if possible.
Don't look before you leave. What you give, you get to keep. So long, farewell, bye-bye. Let's have a toast for those lost old eyes.
So we got basically bags left just where they were full. The guys are dragging the big white sack down and grabbing the sacks as they come, so that we can get them to the boat just over here. Change of plan, we're running out of these Hessian sacks because it's so much waste. So we're keeping the Hessian sacks, we're putting the waste straight into the big bag thing, and now we have Hessian sacks so that we can do the transect.
What you give, you get to keep. So long, farewell, bye-bye. Let's have a toast for those lost old eyes.
With Alina and myself having been on the beach since first light, we were about to be relieved by the second shift. Burke and Jess were going to be taking over the next couple of hours on the beach, and they were also going to be doing part of our data work with Tangaroa Blue and flying our transect. Wait, what? Flying a transect? What on earth is a transect that has to be flown? I'm so glad you asked. A transect looks like this. A drone flown about 10 meters off the ground at 1.5 meters per second. And what we end up with is a picture of the beach that looks like this, where you can clearly identify things like bottles, buoys, coloured plastic, drums, etc. What does this give us in the real world though? Well, Tangaroa Blue feed the image file that we produce with our high resolution drone into a machine learning algorithm, which is then being trained to identify plastics on beaches. This means that Tangaroa Blues are able to assess how much marine debris is on each beach, so they can organise logistics and resources to match what's needed to clean that beach up. And researchers are able to plot where current flows are taking marine waste within the Great Barrier Reef. Brupeg's role in this is helping to collect some of the initial video footage and corresponding data accuracy checks, which will help Tangaroa Blue to develop the capabilities of the Australian Marine Debris Initiative, or AMDI database, to fight for lasting change within the barrier reef. To train the machine learning to be as accurate as possible at identifying plastic, we physically collect all of the debris that's found within the transect area. The transect is 100 meters long, and we scrape the beach of everything within that 100 meters to make sure that we can verify the data that we've got physically with the data that we get digitally. Another side project that we have with Tangaroa Blue is collecting these tuna tracker buoys. These wash up from the commercial fishing vessels, and Tangaroa Blue collect them and give them a second life tracking ghost nets from the ocean. While Jess and Burke were waiting for Elena and myself to return in the dinghy so that we could take the next load of debris from the beach over to Brupeg, Burke decided to go for a bit of a hike to find out what the tramping access to this beach is like.
From the city, it's been so long since we've been gone. I wanna feel that summer feel, but I don't wanna go if you ain't with me. Let's make a home, be all alone. So tell me, baby, where would you like to go? Maybe we'll drive from coast to coast, only to where we love the most. I'm taking you to paradise, paradise. You know where we're going tonight, going tonight. Paradise, paradise. I'm taking you to paradise, paradise. I don't even care about the price, yeah. Paradise.
Good work.
Like this with their
Pretty good like that. Something like that. We can get down the back. Okay, you guys right?
Yeah.
Get a bit in the water and then climb in.
Oh. Oh.
So begins the dissection. So we have this quarantined bag here, 2 trackers, there's a drum and this black meshy thing over the corner here. All came from the transect, so we need to basically go through in detail, figure out what is in this bag and add it into the empty database. So that's our plan now. Lena's setting up an empty bag over the back, so we're going to basically pull it out of this, sort whatever it is, put it in the database, throw it in the bag, and then we also need to weigh the bag. So we've set up a little bit of string that we're going to hang. The only scale that we had, our good scale, has broken. It's broken, it's rusted dead. So we're going to use this one, which can do a maximum of 50 kgs. So we're hoping, we'll take some bits off, but we're hoping that this bag is less than 50 kgs, and then we can weigh the other bits individually. We've got 4 bags full, and there's probably half a dozen sacks over there. There's a bit of mooring rope there, and there's a few other random bits around. There's 4 trackers on the boat now and a few fishing buoys. So we'll probably start offloading soon. We can probably fit another 2 bags on the back deck here. So we got one empty over the back there, and we can fit another one there. So we can easily do 6 bags on the rear deck. But we can also start stacking on the forward bow if we need to, and we can start stacking these on the roof. They're not heavy, they just take up a lot of volume. So we could start probably putting maybe 10 of these on the roof without too much drama. So in terms of like capacity, we've got plenty of capacity once we start utilising the boat a bit more efficiently. Yep. Because our scale had a 50 kg weight limit, we had to empty most of this sack out, then hang it from the roof to get our weight, and then weigh all of the pieces we took out individually. 37.
Once we finish these, we have to remember to weigh this back.
Okay.
Oh no.
We were quite slow at the start, trying to figure out our system and what was going to be the most efficient way to categorize this, but once we got into it, we started ripping through it.
You think I'm happy, and I'ma make you smile. I'm the perfect rep for the sunshine and rainbows in a clear blue sky. I'm watching you bloom, relish in the spring. Look how the light and color it brings. Yet I'm dying.
6'9" or something.
6'9", yeah, that's it. When it was all said and done, each of these white sacks contained around 65 kgs or 144 pounds of waste. With everything that we were able to pull off the beach that didn't fit into the bags weighed, we were around 450 kgs or 1,000 pounds of waste removed from this bay. But that did leave us with a dilemma. What do we do with 450 kgs of waste on board Brupeg? Alina got in touch with the resort that's on this island and they agreed to take the waste off our hands. However, this lovely island in tropical Queensland has fringing reefs that we need to navigate. So while Jess was on station just off the beach, Burke and I jumped in the dinghy, took the drone and the sounder out, and we found ourselves a path. I think it's basically right there.
That's quite close, isn't it?
Yeah, and we'll guide ourselves in using the drone.
Should be pretty accurate there.
Yeah,
Got enough room to turn around and...
I think so, yeah. It seems fairly wide over there.
What's the depth?
9 metres deep.
Ah. All done?
So we've just been in touch with the resort. They're sending maintenance down to the beach. They're going to have a little trolley thing so we can take, we've got 5 of these sacks to go. Pretty full, but and then there's a bunch of rope and other stuff, but mostly it's in these 5 sacks with 1 big sack.
Cool. What did we learn today?
You need to have the camera under the water.
If we do a corner each, we might be able to lift it straight forward off the boat.
Yeah. Just up flat.
Yes,
Yeah. Oh, isn't it?
We could play tug of war.
I reckon it's a tow rope. I just something.
It's pretty cool, planes coming in. I love this like pristine environment and then the rubbish.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Can I get one person there and I'll lift the bottom up? Alright, so that's our stop at the resort done. We're about to lift the anchor and we're going to move from where we are right here. We're just going to go, I don't know, 500 metres over there and park in that bay. A bit more shelter, but the holding where we are here isn't crash hot. When we anchored, we always pulled down on it in reverse, and we pulled down on it and it just sort of kept slowly dragging, so sometimes happens. So holding was pretty good over there, holding not great here, so we're just going to move and settle in for the night. We've got a bit of editing to do. The guys want to do some diving and stuff. We have about 4 or 5 days of food left on the boat. Easy food, not like dry rice and things. We've got like fresh food and things. So yeah, we'll probably be heading to the outer reef soon. A couple of islands on the way back to clean up, and then we'll be straight back into port to restock and then head north. Crew's starting to clean the boat, so Alina's basically getting this cleaned off. Burke is cleaning all the sand and rubbish out of the dinghy. Jess has got a bit of food going at the front, and then we're going to give the boat a massive clean up. We've got sand everywhere, so that smells incredible. What are you making in here?
We're just making some pumpkin soup.
Pumpkin soup.
Yeah, we'll do some pancakes so you can finish up the job. You can go and anchor and just relax for a little bit, finish and edit and tidy up. Burke's sort of sorting the leaks in the boat, and Dane and Alina are getting us anchored, so bit of food, bit of editing, bit of sleeping. Great.
Pussycat. Pussycat. What's this? That evening the guys went for a dive, checked on the anchor and the sun. Everything looked smashing.
Thanks to Alina for organising our Coconut Beach cleanup and Lizard Island Resort for disposing of the debris. And if you would like to support our final cleanup of Coconut Bay and other cleanups in the Great Barrier Reef, check out our small GoFundMe in the description below. Thanks to all our patrons and viewers for getting us here. See you next week.